Sure.
We can talk about it during the tech news. I was thinking about adding it. I didn't, but we can talk about it then too. It is crazy that's 450 pages. I was reading through it really quick, but it's crazy. So this is meeting number 4. On today's agenda, we have the tech news like usual. We want to make sure that everyone's set up and ready and understands where they're actually going to be coding their Flask. And then we kind of have our Flask intro and like what we're going to be using it for and how on this website. Um, we have Zach for that. And then also we have a future event, or we're gonna have our first social event. Even though it's gonna be distance, we're gonna be playing. We're gonna try to play Among Us with all you guys. Think it'll be kind of fun. You can get it for free on your iPhone or in the App Store or wherever. So we're gonna try to do that. We're gonna do it next week though, because I know a lot of people have midterms this week and are kind of busy. So we're gonna try to schedule it next week. Look out for an announcement. We'll do like a time to meet and everything for that. It's BYOB. So bring it in the Zoom call. So hopefully you're excited for that. Look out for the announcement. We'll let you know. So tech news. We'll start off with Jeet wants to share something.
Uh,
I
okay.
can
Can
open
you
up the
just
thing.
open up? Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, the second big and very good move that Microsoft has made in the same month. Is it the same month?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So now, so you know how like Microsoft has like Xbox and like Microsoft Game Pass,
Mhm.
where you can just like it's like a Netflix for like games, so you can play any game. So EA has their own version of that. So basically, you can like play NHL, Madden, FIFA, Anthem, uh, UFC, I guess. What are the games? Anthem, like many other games. And now you can play like you can get all those games which EA has from EA Play on your like Xbox Game Pass prescription. So you don't have to pay the extra $15 for EA. You can just pay 15 for the Xbox thing. And you have all these games. It's kind of crazy because like already like they I think it goes live on November 10th. So it's just like a good move by Xbox to like get more people to play like a more diverse group of games. And in a way also like a good deal for EA because EA is like very notorious for having a lot of like in-game purchases you should do or like you have to do to like progress. Like I don't know if you guys have like seen memes about how EA is like super, I don't know what the term is, but they like require you to like buy in-game content if you want to like actually enjoy it.
Microtransactions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like microtransactions. Yeah. So it's also a good deal for EA because I'm already like looking forward to spending a lot of money on UFC or something like that.
Yeah. No,
But
I think this is like a crazy deal with
yeah,
Microsoft. I know here. This was what I was trying to
and
get
like
loaded.
since Xbox acquired Bethesda, now like Doom Eternal has like 10 times more players since they had before, including myself because I didn't buy the game, but now I have it for free. Not
Yeah.
free, but like for super cheap.
Yeah. No, the Microsoft Game Pass, like what they've done with that is pretty insane. Like how many games you can get for free with that. If you don't know what it is, it's kind of what you were saying with the Netflix. It's basically you just pay something per month and you get a game library. Um, PlayStation came out saying they're making their own version of that. And this was like their announcement basically with PS Plus collection games. You get all these right off the bat with your PlayStation 5. So it's kind of like PlayStation's trying to do catch up basically with Xbox right now. I mean, there's some insane games with the PlayStation One, God of War, for example. I think that was Game of the Year in 2016, and for it to
Yep.
be free with that bundle is kind of insane. Um, but with the EA Play, you're just getting so many games within the EA franchise. that like this is just an incredible deal by Microsoft.
That's the games that you can
yeah.
play on EA Play.
Yeah, so it's just another move by Microsoft.
And the special thing is like they're adding like NFL, Madden 21, and FIFA 21.
In the future.
So right now, like you can't play these, but as soon as like Game Pass people can play with EA games, you get 21. So you don't have to like play older games.
Yeah, another cool thing too, you don't need an Xbox, you can have a PC and get Game Pass.
Yep.
So pretty good deal.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That release for PlayStation, those are some heavy hitter games that they're really trying to keep you in the loop of PlayStation.
Yeah, and I've never played like God of War before, and I have a PS4 like behind me. So I was already thinking of getting a PS5, and now I'm just like probably should just get it and just get the Game Pass.
Right?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's insane.
How much is that? Like, how much does that cost monthly?
Oh, I just had it up. Which one? The PlayStation one? Or is it?
The PlayStation PS Plus.
I'm guessing $10.
Yeah, I think I saw like 14, maybe.
14.
Oh shit! It's 24 per month.
Ooh.
Oh no.
No, that's
It's,
per year.
yeah,
For 3
24
months.
is 3 months. Yeah. my
It's
bad.
$60 per year, $10 per month.
Okay.
The thing is, like, you can't buy 12-month Game Pass anymore. Like, you have to do the monthly thing.
That's such a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
If consumers on average spend $60 every 2 years, and by doing this now they spend $60 every year, everybody makes money from it. Everyone's happy.
Yeah. No, it's an insane deal. Anything else on that? Okay. Just quickly too. So iPhone or Apple, they're announcing their new iPhone. It's gonna be announced October 13th. Their message was just high speed. So kind of good. I was going through Twitter, and people were like, you see how many circles there are? That's how many new iPhones they're releasing. And I was like, what? But that'd be insane if it is, honestly. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 new iPhones could be.
I mean, isn't that the case almost every year? Like, they
Every year.
have.
Yeah, it is already the case.
Yeah.
They always release like a mini, like a cheap version, big.
I think
extra
high
But
speed
I don't
is
think the
just because
circles
like
matter.
high speed is just because they have like 5G and like 120 hertz displays.
Yeah. And it's gonna be the older. Yeah. It's gonna be the new design with the squared off edges. But if you remember, I think like iPhone 7 was like the squared off edges ones. So it's kind of like actually like an older model, but I heard it's supposed to be pretty good. They're also gonna maybe release these things, new over-ear headphones and HomePod or the tiles, which are kind of cool.
Oh, that's a big deal. They're
Yeah.
releasing a tile competitor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
so I don't think there is a tile competitor yet.
Like, yeah, super small ones. Not
Super
even
small ones, like little companies. So Apple coming out with it is basically just saying like, this is our space now. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like where you can see like the monopoly being in effect.
Exactly.
If you're saying right now like this is gonna kill tile, like this is an example of Apple's a pretty big player in things. So
Yeah, but they're not coming up with anything new if they're going back to their old iPhone design.
Yeah, they really aren't.
They're just taking
That's
Androids.
what Apple does.
Apple was innovative for a time, back in the day.
Yeah.
You
They
don't think
stopped
they're
catching
innovating
up.
anymore?
I mean, Apple's still innovating. The AirPods? When was that? That was recently, but there was nothing like it before.
That's
AirPods,
true.
okay. Apple made that stuff cool, but there were similar earbuds before that.
I think Samsung
they
had
made it
the Buds thing. Didn't Samsung have Galaxy Buds before that?
I don't think they're as seamless though.
Yeah. I think Apple's was like the best
Like some like
variation of any of
these.
them.
I don't know if this is. I don't know how old this is, but
I think
my
that was
dad
the same
stopped using
time.
it.
So
I
I'll
mean,
give
just
it
think
to
about the number of patents they file each year, and then like there's no way they're not innovative. They're
I'll
filing
give it
patents.
to Apple that their Bluetooth is much better.
Yeah, yeah,
They patent
that's
things
true.
that aren't relevant though. Oftentimes, like they literally just recently patented a pizza box design because at their cafe at Apple Store they found a better way to keep the crust dry.
They're innovating.
Oh
They're
my God.
innovating.
I think they have a new patent which is like self-healing something. I don't know if it's a hoax or something, but I think I saw that somewhere online.
The one thing I
Like a
can't wait for-
self-healing phone display panel.
Oh, like a weird.
Yeah.
That, I don't know if that's possible.
That would be cool.
I guess they do 2,000 patents last year.
I
And
mean,
they're ranked.
that's also like a licensing thing.
Yeah.
Like they get extra money from that.
They were also ranked number 10 in the U.S. for that many patents.
Damn.
I think that's also to prevent other companies from like starting phone companies. Like Apple and Google infringe on each other's patents all the time, but they do that so they have a duopoly on the phone marketplace.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, is there anything that you'd change in your iPhone that you'd want in your new iPhone?
100%, 100%. The one thing I hate that little sliver on the top of iPhones. I think it's the most unaesthetic thing. I'm so surprised they actually shipped something out like that.
Yeah,
I think it looks horrible.
What are you talking about?
That's why I get a Samsung. Look
that
at
little
this.
piece, right?
Oh,
Look at this.
like the
No,
speaker.
your phone doesn't have it.
Seamless.
The ones with the little
Seamless.
curve.
Oh yeah, the little notch.
Yeah, I
thing,
hate that
right?
little blurb. That's the only reason I didn't upgrade. Like it looks so bad.
Yeah,
How many
I'm
of
on
y'all
a-
use like Androids?
No.
I know Chris does. Chris, what phone do you have?
What phone do I have?
Yeah.
I got a Huawei.
Nice.
It's I'm giving all the information to China.
Did you
Yeah,
ask
do
Trump
it.
before you got that?
What's up?
Did you ask Trump before you got that? He might have a thing to say.
I got it before that whole scandal. And now it's kind of getting old, which sucks because I really like the phone, but if I get a new one, I don't have Google Play Store.
Mm.
Oh,
So it's an interesting situation to be in.
Get the new Pixel.
or just go Apple.
All the choices suck.
Yeah, I feel like you should go go Google if you want an Android
Freudian
because
slip.
they
Probably, yeah.
have longer
Yeah.
updates for their phones.
Honestly, I had the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 3 and 4 was so disappointing. I've been using like Samsung for the past 2 years.
I thought as far as cheap phones, 4A was supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I thought Google was pretty good. Didn't
Yeah,
they just
but-
release new?
Yeah, they did, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Ahmed, I see what you're talking about with the I don't even know what you would call that.
It's not like a
notch.
straight line.
Like
on
a
the top.
wedge?
Yeah, it's
no,
like
it's a
two,
notch,
like
yeah.
screens on the side. It's not like a
Bezel. It's like a bezel.
Bezel.
bezel. There we go. Yes.
Yeah, there
you
it
go.
is. Connor has
Yeah.
it. on
Yeah,
his
right
screen.
there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're watching a movie or something, like
Oh,
come
yeah,
on.
you're right. Huh.
Yeah.
That's why I get Samsung. They have the best displays, no doubt.
Give it a year, Apple will perfect it.
This thing. Right?
I actually don't mind it that much.
I can't.
Yeah, that's interesting. I could definitely see it being annoying. Does anybody watch the announcements live? Or am I like the only one?
If you
I do.
what?
I watch the like Apple announcements live and like the Google ones. I don't know. I like to watch them.
All the time.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been doing that for like the past 5-6 years.
Yeah, no, I found them
Since
entertaining.
Nexus 5 came out. I think Nexus 5 was my first like live announced IO.
Yeah.
Did they release that at IO or did they have like a different event? I think
Maybe
back
different.
then IO was like everything, and then
Yeah.
they had like different events for different phones.
I think so, yeah.
If anybody
Um,
wants
I
to
think-
like meet
Hmm?
as they're announcing the next one, I'm totally down for that.
Oh yeah, maybe. I can schedule maybe a Zoom for people, and then we can all join in.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be a fun little social event. So
Yeah.
I'll do an announcement for that. Good idea.
Perfect.
Here's the weekly.
Oh, by the way, before we move on, I
yeah.
have like a nice, sweet, good news. I got an internship over a
Oh, yeah.
Twitter DM.
Hey, good job.
It's
Congrats.
at this biotech company, and the CEO, like, have y'all watched the pandemic documentary on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the curly haired guy, like it's that company. And
Oh.
it's pretty cool stuff. Gonna make a website and stuff.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Good for you, man. Nice job.
Yeah. All right, here's the weekly meme. We're gonna be having this now. Chris will be doing them.
Yep.
I really like this one.
Because it's so true.
It is very true. I'd be when I'm working on a project, I like would walk outside and just be like, "That's how I do it," and then just
Yep.
walk right back.
Because sometimes if you're looking at the screen too much, you
You
kind
don't
of
see-
lose all sense of what the problem is.
Yep. Yeah, honestly.
Anyway, yeah, I'm going to be doing these. I'm very inspired.
I
to
like
do
it.
Okay. This is where Chris and Zach will take over. I have to go. I'm busy this week. I have to prepare for 2 interviews. Hopefully, I get them. Your boy needs money.
Hey.
But yeah, Zach and Chris will be here and will be taking over. They'll also
Yep.
be recording this. So don't do anything stupid.
Or do, whatever.
Yeah, whatever works for you, whatever floats your boat.
All right. Godspeed,
All right.
Matt.
Yeah,
All right.
see you,
Good
Matt.
luck,
See ya.
Good luck.
Peace out.
Yep. I think your host already, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. See you guys. Have a great meeting.
See it. All right, guys. I'm assuming everyone is good with Flask. Setting that up.
Yep.
We dealt with a lot of that last week. That's why we couldn't do this intro to getting started with Flask today. And I guess it's kind of unfortunate that we picked today. A lot of people are out with like interviews, midterms coming up. I know I've got exams. But it's nice that you guys still have time. Do a little bit of programming on the side. Alrighty. I'm gonna share my screen. I'll hop right into it.
You guys have to
Where is
memorize
it?
the math theorems.
I have to know the master theorem for a class.
You guys are going to be
Oh.
making a game with all possible knight moves.
That was an interview question.
Oh, you're using Java for that? All right.
I did Java, and then honestly, the coding challenge went so bad. I did it in Java. I didn't realize why it wasn't right, so I recoded it in JavaScript
And
off
you
to
got
the
it?
side over here. It was just a disaster, honestly. I was using recursion when I should have been using whatchamacallit.
Loops?
Breadth first search. I should have been using a graph. Anyways, aside from that, I'm just going to delete everything I've got. We're going to start over with a fresh, brand new Visual Studio Code looking thing. Hope everyone's following along. Pause for questions. Let's go and create a thing called main.py. And I'm looking at another screen, by the way, for the code, so I don't mess this up. So we're going to import Flask, and just really quickly, we're going to do app equals Flask __ name. And if name is main, then app.run debug equals true. So this is the basic setup for a Flask application. And you could just run it like any normal Python file, and it'll say this cool stuff. It's weird that it says it's in a production environment. because it's a development server. This is the basic setup. By default, it runs at port 5000 on localhost. So real quick, I'm just going to go to my go to Chrome, do localhost port 5000. Whoop. And oh yeah, we didn't set up any routes. So here's the code for everyone that still needs it. We need to set up routes. So the way that you do that in Flask, you do app.route, and then you define the route. So this is the default route, like the home page. Like if we just have a slash at the end of there. If we wanted to route something like fish, it would be like /fish. What was I gonna say? Oh, it's important that if like this doesn't match to /fish. So if I do like /fish, it's not gonna match to that. But we'll see that a bit later. Then we create a function. It can be named anything, but I'm gonna call it home because it's like the home page. And let's just return hello world. This is HTML, by the way. We're gonna assume that you guys don't know HTML. Doesn't matter, it's super simple. Basically, you have tags like this, and you end tags like this with the with the slash. So this starts the h1 tag, says hello world, and ends the h1 tag. So if we refresh, it says hello world. And you could take a look at the code. Oh, sorry, my language is in Russian. But this is view page source code, something like that. Look at the source for the
Hoda stranici.
Yeah, that. You can see it's
code.
exactly
See page code.
You can see it's exactly what we returned from this function.
Yeah, I got a question real quick.
Yeah.
So I see you're looking at your local host. How do you find out where your local host is?
You mean like this?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you just open up a tab in the browser and you type in localhost. This is just your own computer.
Are you asking about the IP address?
Yeah, what do I use?
You could type in localhost.
Yeah, you can just, it's probably better to do that.
If you're feeling fancy, you could type in 127.0.0.1. And make sure you do :5000, because that's port 5000. There's different ports on your computer. And the default one for Chrome is port 80. We're using port 5000 since this is a development server.
Okay. It's saying that the site can't be reached.
Did you run your Python file? I'm sorry, I kind of like sped through that, but you just want to run your Python file. So like this, like Python main.py.
Yeah, it's running.
What does it say it's running on, like down here?
Doesn't say it's running on anything.
I have a feeling.
Mine doesn't work either. Let me check.
Do you want to share screen?
Yeah, sure. All right, let me maximize this real quick. Oh, there we go. So.
Oh, it says no module named Flask. Do just a pip3 install Flask.
Yeah, so, okay, I can shine some light on this one. You don't have a Flask installed on your local machine. You have it installed in your venv, which is like what we did last week.
Oh, Chris, I think you made the venv a little complicated.
I did, but it's necessary, though, for
I
hosting.
never use it.
Even for hosting? How do you get your dependencies?
I just pip3 install it, no venv.
Never mind. So yeah, just go ahead and install Flask.
If you run pip3 install Flask, it'll work. The issues that Chris made a tutorial using venv. Oh,
which
sorry,
is
just
practical.
Pip. Just pip. it may be practical, but I don't care.
Pip 3. Just pip 3.
Pip. Not found. No, I did that from Mac.
Try pi dash m, or like pi is in a
PY.
yeah.
Yes.
py.
Y.
This is good.
So let me so pi dash m pip install Flask. I think this is right.
Yeah, that is right. That is right. Yeah.
Put in.
Okay. Hopefully this will work. Let me get this.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
So hopefully when I run this, it should be all good. All right,
Yeah.
so let's go ahead and run this. It says no module named Flask.
Can you go in the bottom left where it says Python 2.7?
Yeah.
Got 'em.
Click that. And let's switch it to the bottom one.
32-bit.
Yep.
Okay.
All right,
Alright.
let's try running it again.
I don't know, for some reason it says that I have a syntax error, but I checked everything and there's nothing.
All right, do you want
wrong.
to share your screen?
Yeah,
Here we
give me a
go.
second.
Thank you very much.
For sure.
I don't know how weird this is going to look, but there we go.
Oh, you don't have anything underneath your decorator.
The second Flask
I
should
can't
be
see my own
capital
screen.
F.
Okay, how do I get this off?
Oh, actually, no,
I
Zach's
can't.
right.
On the first line,
Yep.
the word Flask, the last occurrence of the word Flask on the first line, the F should be
Wait,
capital.
give me a second. Okay, there we
Oh.
go. Oh yeah.
That's it. Oh, right. You have to have like you just have at app.route. You have to have the function below it.
I missed that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could share mine. Or
App
you have
dot
to
r-
stop sharing, but
App.route is a decorator which is used right before function definitions.
yeah.
Okay,
so
it's just hello world. Okay, I'll do that.
yeah, so this is the decorator that says run this function when they request this route. Is anyone else having issues? Any other questions?
I got mine to run, but it's a lot smaller. Did you do something for the font or no?
Did you put in the
H1.
headers?
You do
I
like that?
did.
What do you mean?
Oh,
Yeah. Did you put this H1 thing?
I think I misspelled it. I found it. Thank you.
Yeah. This is a header 1. So in HTML, there's header 1, which is the biggest, and it should be used for like once in a page. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. I forget where it stops, but it stops at some point.
I think 5.
I don't know. All right. Any other questions? Any other concerns? Is everything working?
It still says that like it doesn't display anything.
So you go to it, and what does it say?
Okay, now it says no module named Flask, so I think I'm gonna have to. But
Right,
I
so
did
we have
download
the-
it last time.
Yeah,
It's
so
because it was in a virtual environment.
Zach is playing it loose and
Sloppy.
sloppy and loose and not using a virtual environment. So you can download it to your
Okay.
local machine.
Yep, done that.
Wait, so you did that and it's still giving you weird shit?
No, I just did that right now. It's
Okay.
going through.
Yeah, it's the command in chat.
All right, so header stop at H6.
Good to know. You shouldn't be using like 6 H's. What do you?
Honestly, who uses headers?
What?
Just
That's like a
use
re-
Vix.
It's like a really
Oh.
important part of SEO, actually.
Yeah, I guess I'm not thinking about CSS.
It's not just a visual thing. It's actual markup that says this is something important. So Google, when they're scanning pages, they say this is an important feature of the page. So if you're trying to optimize your page to get at the top of some search engine result, you best be using headers.
That is good to know.
I guess. Is anyone else having issues? No issues, we may proceed. Okay, let's go then. Something that you might have seen before is like a URL that looks like this, like that. Actually, if you go into Google and you search anything, you see it has my exact query right there. So we're going to do something that detects those things. So from Flask, on our first line, we want to also import request. And that way we could see what's going on up there. So we could say name equals request.args.get name. This means that if we do question mark name equals something, it's going to be equal to name. So let's do that. I'm just going to make that regular text. So I'm just going to say hi, name. So then we'll see if we do question mark name, it will greet me. Hi, Zach. That's pretty cool. Does everyone have it? I'm going to assume that's a yes.
Not yet.
All right. The changes we made, we imported request. And this is important because we use it right here, request.args.get. It's actually kind of weird because this particular thing is called a query. So that's why Google is question mark Q equals something. I mean, it's a search query. But yeah, they're like used everywhere. I think YouTube uses them. It's like youtube.com/watch question mark.
Yep.
Or something for the video ID. Used all over the place though. Super useful. So let's see what happens if we don't give a name. Type error. Can only concatenate string, not none type to string. So what's going on? That's because request.args.get name, we didn't give it a name because we deleted it from our URL. So this is none. So when it tries to do this, where it does string concatenation and say hello plus name, this thing is none. So Python doesn't know how to represent that. So let's just fix that real quick. So if name is none, then let's set it to world, and it'll be hello world. So let's save that and run it. Hello world. It's fixed. Something that's peculiar, I guess, about Python is that normally you would usually think to do this if name is equal to none. But Python actually says that you should do this if name is none. And the difference is that double equal sign checks for like loose equals, but is like, it actually is like the same memory location. So like comparing strings and stuff. Has everyone got that? Is there any questions? I know we didn't.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I just want to know like what the implementation of this like query based thing is. Like, why would you use this? I guess.
What?
I
I just went over like actual use cases. Like Google uses it right here. My search query. It's right here.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Google actually uses
I
it
didn't
right
hear that.
there.
I was like,
And YouTube, if you YouTube something, see question mark V. I don't know what video this is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like ubiquitous across basically everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just super useful in URLs. A lot of people use it. Super common. And we're
Alright.
going to be using it,
Sounds
probably.
good.
Okay. Right, so I know we didn't cover a lot of code, but we just kind of covered a lot of conceptual ground right there. Because that is a pretty important thing. All right. So another important thing, how are we going to kind of make this site? Yeah, it's going to be like how we're going to make this site that we're actually going to make. Let's make another route. This is for, oh, whoops. Yep, let's just call it page 1. I'm just going to call the function page 1 as well. I'm just going to have that so I could show you how the route works. You just go to page 1. So it's slash page 1. And it's not caught by this. This is specifically only for the home route. This is for the page 1 route. No other routes. So it has to be an exact match. So I'm going to make some files now. This folder has to be called templates because we're going to be using templates. Just a quick introduction. So I'm going to call this page1.html. Even though it's not actually an HTML file, this is going to be a Jinja file. I'm going to use Jinja here. And that is Python or Flask's markup language of choice. And the reason you're going to need a markup language is so, like, HTML has no loops or anything, but Jinja does. So we can loop through data in a Pythonic way and print out HTML for each element. So if we have like multiple events, we could loop through those, print out each event. We actually won't be covering that today. We're going to be covering kind of our philosophy and how we're going to do this. So I forgot what I put. Because this is regular HTML. This P tag, that's what they're called, by the way, tags, is for a paragraph. I probably should have enlarged the font a while ago. So that's my bad. This is page 1.
What was your short key to get the PP?
What?
What was your short, like, did you do like Command 4 or something? Like, what did you do
VS
to
Code
get
will do it for you.
Yeah, VS Code's going to do it for you.
Also,
no.
hot tip: if you start out with a blank HTML file and you type exclamation mark and press enter, it'll do something cool.
Oh, that's really cool. I like this.
Hey.
I think you showed this last time. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna be not exactly using that. Sorry. Okay, that's all for me. Continue, Zach.
All right. So we're just going to have this file right here, which is actually a template, but we're going to call it HTML. And for all intents and purposes, it is HTML. It works exactly the same. Send back over here. And this could have anything in it, by the way, any valid HTML. So we're going to have another import, and it's going to be, render template with the underscore in between it. And this is going to be for rendering this template. And render is kind of a funny word. That's because this is not HTML. Like I said, it's actually Jinja, which needs to be rendered. And the way it works is you send a request, we process this request in this function, and we render a template. So that means converting the Jinja into HTML, a valid page that we send back to you, the person that's requesting the page. So code for this is render template. This is the file, page1.html. And the reason we just pass in page1.html, and remember, we're in a folder, templates. The reason we don't pass this in is because Flask automatically searches in the templates folder and nowhere else for this page1.html. And we could change it. I believe it's if we pass in more parameters over here.
That's correct. Ahmed, a couple of weeks ago, we were dealing with that at the end of the club meeting.
All right, cool. Yeah, so you could change the default templates directory. So remember we said this is page 1. If we go to page 1, it says the code that's in the file. That's kind of cool. But it's still not as good as we want it. Because if we have like a 500-page app, we're going to have some repeated elements, right? We're going to have like the header, and the header is going to be the same every time. And same with the footer. The footer is going to be the same every time. So before I go on, does anyone have any questions? Again, this is one of those, we're not actually writing a lot of code, but we're covering a lot of conceptual ground here. Okay. So we're going to have another folder called layouts. And inside of that, we're going to have header.html. And inside of header, I'm going to do, so usually you do, this is the start tag for HTML, by the way. Like if you don't have it, no web browser is going to complain, but this is correct style. And in an HTML file, you have a header and a body, a head and a body. Now, we're going to open this body tag, but not close it, because our footer is going to close it. Whoops. So things that you do in the header, you do things like set title. Or I guess this should be header or head. And what this title tag controls is, oh wait, I'm not even rendering it yet. But we're just going to have this right now. Maybe something in the body so you can see it. This is header.html. Just so you know it's being rendered by header.html. So this is the correct style for an HTML document. You have an HTML start tag, a head, and a body. And the head is for setting up like your JavaScript for setting up the title. And we're going to see what the title is in a second. And the body is for actually rendering stuff. So like your paragraphs, your actual header, or the header that you like see in with the links on a page. And everything else, the body, the article, the footer, all inside of the body, everything that you see. So we're going to render this header. And this is where you see that it's not HTML. Geez, I'm covering like so much ground. I feel like if you guys aren't familiar with this already, you should definitely rewatch this video once it's up. But the idea is that we can pull all of this stuff into right here by doing include layout/header.html.
Layouts.
This is Jinja right here. This is not HTML.
Layouts. Plural.
Oh, thanks, Chris. Yeah, the folder's called layouts. So we're obviously just referencing this file, header.html, right here. And if we run it, we'll see that this is header.html. And if we view the source, wait, I have this page open a lot. If we view the source, we'll see pretty much the contents of this file pasted in right here. And you also see this is the title, by the way, right here on the tab. That's what title controls, the title tag. See, it matches. Are there any questions?
Can you go
something
back
not
to
working.
page 1 really quick? Mine didn't work when I put it on, like when I ran.
Page 1, this.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so it's opening curly brace, parenthesis, and your actual thing, parenthesis, closing curly brace. And that's just the syntax for Jinja. This is how you know that it's Jinja, because all HTML elements need like these greater than less than signs.
This still didn't work. Can you go back to the header really quick?
Yep.
Oh, is it because you didn't close? Is it because you didn't close the HTML thing?
No, that's not. I mean, like, I didn't close it in the actual thing. The cool thing is that Chrome is going to close it for you, or like any modern web browser. Your issue is probably somewhere in main.py. If you didn't render template, if you didn't import it, if you didn't have the route spelled correctly, if you didn't have this spelled correctly, if you mangled your
The templates worked before we made the header, the HTML. Now it's not working. I'm not sure why.
Oh,
Okay.
Do you want to go ahead and share your screen for a brief second?
Yeah. I'll show you screen. Okay, let's see page 1.html.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I was muted. This is what I have.
Now let's see the header. Can I see your
Oh,
files?
you're closing HTML before your
Body.
Yeah, it's a good catch.
So you're no, you're just closing HTML before like anything happens. So that's probably it. Get rid of that and then save and refresh the page.
No, it didn't work.
Oh, well,
Head,
that was my
body. Wait, let me. Do I have to run do I have to run this like main every time?
No, if it's in debug mode, so it should just work.
What's not working about the page?
It's like that. You know how earlier it was like that big like table and it was like Jinja exception. My thing's set here. Can you see my Google Chrome or no?
No, just your VS Code.
Should I share Google? Will that help at all?
Maybe, depending on what it says.
Yeah, let me hold on.
Well, let's see your files first. Actually, I want to see your file structure.
Yeah.
Like, okay, one sec. Let me go back to here.
Yeah, so layouts should be inside of templates.
Oh,
yeah,
that'll do it. How do I move it?
You can click and drag probably.
That's the problem. Okay.
Try it again so that we know that it's good.
We definitely gonna work. Yep, there we go.
Cool.
All right, thank you.
Sure. Does anyone else have any questions? Something not working? Any conceptual questions? Oh, shoot. Well, all right. We have a couple minutes.
I mean, basically to where like it's the stopping point, at least from what you shared in the Slack, right?
Yeah, this is pretty much it. I mean, the main thing that I want you to see. Oh, but by the way, I'm just having the footer just close the body and close the HTML tags. So our page looks like an actual HTML page, even though it's like kind of Frankenstein together from a couple different files. The reason that we do this is so that we don't have to repeat the header and the footer, which is going to be roughly the same every time. There's like one more important thing that I wanted to share, but I wanted everyone to see that this is the main way that we're going to put together pages. This is how the connection between front end and back end works. So this is the back end right here. And this code right here is the front end. And even though HTML is pretty simple, it can get really complicated really quickly.
Especially if
we
you introduce
JavaScript.
literally
Well,
what I was going to say.
We're going to say the same thing.
Yep.
Wow.
Nerds.
HTML seems really readable.
Oh,
Very
template not found.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Whoop. Forgot the S again.
Typically, markup languages are not bad in terms of readability.
Yeah. And it doesn't really have to be complicated, is the great thing.
But I still think HTML is kind of stupid.
HTML is great. What's wrong with it?
As much as I've used it, like not a big fan. It's too much typing.
I feel like
You have to,
HTML
like-
is all right, but CSS can go like
Yep.
dynamo. or something.
Yeah, what's
Exactly.
good, Teresa?
Hey.
Exactly. She made a fantastic entry with that, with the take on CSS.
CSS can go over. There's entire markup languages, like languages on top of CSS, where you can have like loops inside of your CSS and variables and stuff. It's just a little,
Oh wait,
a little much.
I had a quick question. So if you were including something like a CSS file, would that be put in our backend like main, or would that be put in one of our smaller ones like
That would
H1?
probably be in the front end, like templates area, right? Zach?
Yeah. So we've got something like interesting going on here, right? Because we're not like sending over full files. The way that you would include CSS is right here in your header. You would do like link ref equals something.
Style
File sheet?
sheets, right?
Yeah. Is it href then?
Yeah, href. Or it might be, yeah.
Yeah.
It's href.
So normally you do something like this and you have like styles.css. But if we put like a styles right here, like remember this is run on the client side. So it's going to look in a spot, whoops, it's going to look right here in styles.css. And we don't have a route for that. So what we could do is we could make a route that's like /styles.css and then return our CSS file. But that's really awful. And that's how like intuitively it would have to work. Because we
So
can't just drop a file in here.
Do you think we're going to be using like Bootstrap for this, or are we going to do it raw?
I hate Bootstrap.
Okay.
So we're not going to
I've
use
watched
it.
so many videos on Bootstrap after Teresa suggested it on the Slack. I think I
It's
spent like it's so much like streamlined, I think.
Yeah, it has its uses, but it comes with so much baggage.
it's nice to use it for like a generic theme, I guess. So if you just wanted to make the page look generic, then you could start with Bootstrap, I feel like.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, just Bootstrap comes with so much. I think it's an extra megabyte on top on your site
Yeah.
just for Bootstrap, and it comes with jQuery. I mean, we're probably going to be using jQuery. So wait, I was making a point for the CSS file that we're including. We'd have to do something like this, and then we'd have to set some. It's like a static folder. So the thing with static folder is I don't know what the default is. It's probably static. You drop your file in here, and then it would make it available. It would make all the files in here available at like / then the file name. So that's how you'd include CSS files. But we're not going to get into that right now. Or I guess I'm at time.
Yeah, yeah.
mean,
So
yeah.
Did you guys show the Slack thing with the details in the Zoom?
Oh,
thank you
shoot.
so much, Teresa. God damn it.
I
Yeah.
forgot. All right.
Hold up. I'm going to stop recording and then make a separate recording just for that. Or do you think that's overkill?
No, do it.